What's your people? It's your boy Dre. This is Wtp Podcast. We are back for another episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your boy, and press that little notification bell button, and it'll tell you all the times I've uploaded on YouTube. Today we are coming with a banger. I've got my two guests ready, locked and loaded. They might punch up the camera. Who knows, innit? Introduce yourself, boys.
My name's Charlie O'Neill.
My name's Lee O'Neill. Nice to meet you all.
Come on. It's been a long time, man. I've been
Yes, my man.
itching to get you two on, innit?
Mate, I appreciate you having us, man. We appreciate it massively. Thank you.
No worries, man. So, like, you two, just tell me about yourselves, man.
I've had 12 amateur bouts. I'm a London Open Class champion, Capel Box Cup Open Class champion, London finalist.
Yeah.
So I've done alright in 12 fights. Yeah.
Yeah, they've done very, very well.
Keeping active.
Done very well. Well, I'm Lee O'Neill. I'm a head coach at the Patrick Wilson School of Boxing, amateur boxing club. I'm just about to do getting into doing my pro licensing as well soon, but it just takes a little while. There's loads of paperwork and everything like that come through it. But the amateur boxing's where our heart is. Do you know what I mean? So we try to stay more on that side of things than anything else.
Yeah. So, how did you two actually get into boxing?
You go
Because
first,
there always has to be like a mad story, like, do you know what I'm saying?
mate. Well, my mum passed away when I was 7.
Okay.
And my dad was a scrappy, you know. So he just done the scrap. That's all he ever done. When we was at school, we went. Me and my brother. My brother was 9 when it happened, but cancer. My mum passed away of cancer. So, but it wasn't a well known. It wasn't known, but it wasn't like it was today. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't the awareness was.
Yeah.
So when that happened, a lot of people thought you could get it off people and everything like that. So when we was at school, the kids didn't want to hang around with us. They didn't want to go nowhere near us. And then I wouldn't say we got bullied, but we definitely got like
You got tested.
in a way, like
innit?
people would say it was kids. You know, kids not understanding. Do you know what I mean? So we used to get to fights all the time and everything like that. And my man, he just said, "Listen, if you're going to be doing it, go up the bloody club." Do you know what I mean? So we ended up starting a boxing. Do you know what I mean? So I got a little bit bullied in school as well when I was younger, but it wasn't like to the stage where it was any mad. But it was a little different era. Your parents just told you learn to defend yourself. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just getting punched, at least try and punch back. So that's how I started in a boxing club and just never looked back, to be honest with you. Yeah.
And yourself?
And then what was it? I had a bit of a hard time in school as well when I was little. Yeah, and then I was a bit overweight, to be fair. I was about the same weight as I am now, literally. But when I was 8 years old, I was proper big. Yeah, and then he put me in touch with. He took me down the club that he used to box at with the same coaches that he'd coached him, and then it all set off from there. 10 years down the line, still at the same club.
10 years?
Yeah.
Mad. That's crazy. That's mad dedication, you know?
Loyalty makes you royalty, my man.
Yeah, because I remember when I used to come over and then you was young and your dad always says, "Oh yeah, we've been out for a run like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning." And I was like, "Raw, that is mad, bruv. Mad. But that's what makes you the man that you are today as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
You have to have discipline, man. You have to have discipline is the hardest form of discipline. Is staying disciplined, and that's what,
for sure,
that's
man.
what it is. You know, you have to keep that.
Yeah, for sure, because discipline goes a long way as well.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Anything that you do,
100%. Like you can't. You could take it. You could take it. If you could. Like there's that saying: if you get up in the morning, and make your bed. It starts like that, and it is. It's as cliche as it sounds, but it is. It's basic things, basic movements, basic thoughts, everything like that. That just keeps it nice and clean, and just stays pure discipline with everything you do. Do you know what I mean? So if you could do, it's the best form of self-love, isn't it? Discipline, you know?
Yeah, for real.
There's nothing to be ashamed of about it.
Yeah, because do you think like when you was young, your dad was hard on you, like training?
I think it's always the push that you need, isn't it? It's like he does it because it's all from love. Like he does it all because he wants the best for me. Like no one's gonna want the best for you like your dad does or your mum does. Like it's all push from the heart.
For real. But now, I bet when you was young, you was thinking like, oh, why is my dad doing this and that? But you understand now, innit?
Yeah, as you get older, you start noticing why he wants it because fights start getting tougher, people start getting stronger, things start changing in the boxing.
Don't worry, we have our disagreements with things. I mean, and stuff like that. You know, it's not all lovey-dovey all the time, and sometimes I have to push him to the extent where he gets pushed. But as you just said there, it's like what he has now, where he is now, and the stage he's at. Every boy he fights now is a good, disciplined, well-trained, well-schooled, physically fit, physically strong, capable kid. So you're not getting in there now, and you're not going to box a kid now that isn't ready. You know what I mean? Like, because the level they're at in the championships, are at, every coach in the country will have their kids to a certain level. It's a duty of care as a coach as well. So if you have a kid that isn't ready yet, you have to be honest and say you're just not ready for it. So most kids that he's going to box now, they're not ready. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to be a little bit harder on him now as he gets older, and make sure he stays disciplined now, because the stage is at now, it's where some kids walk away because it gets too much. It does. They don't have much of a social life. They don't go out and about with their friends. They don't go cinema. They have to be wary of what they're eating. Like, they go and have a bloody meal, and the next year, they have to do a 5-mile run to run the meal off. Do you know what I mean? It's everything. You know, you have to make your sleep patterns right. Everything. So everything has to be disciplined. And when you're young, 16, 17, you kind of think, oh, bloody hell, man. But you soon realise that the grass ain't green on the other side. There is nothing else out there. Do you know what I mean? Like there's... there's not a lot more out there for you. You know, there's other things out there, but they're not going to give you opportunities. That we have a young girl, Samina, to Saint. She used to train with us. She trains another club. She got boxed with GB and she's been boxing GB now, I think 3 years or something like that. And she's travelled the world. She's gone to like 10, 12 different countries. Travelled the world and getting paid as an amateur to travel the world.
For females as well.
She's a female.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For females. Big, isn't it?
Some of these young lads, like you get these young lads that are boxing for England at 12, 13, 14-year-olds, they're going all over the world. You know what I mean? As amateur boxers, and you think, and I say to him, it just opens up doors and opportunities. You know what I mean? So but now is a time where some of them, they go to college, they get jobs, they this, they that. And it's so hard to stay clean and disciplined, but the ones that tend to stick and push through are the ones that tend to rise now. Do you know what I mean?
Thrive in the end.
Yeah, they thrive,
Going back to the childhood, do you think he missed a big gap because he was boxing so much? Or
I think...
Or did you balance it out?
Yeah, I don't know. With where I was young and I was doing it, I don't think I think where at the beginning I wasn't too in love with the boxing, but as soon as I got that love for it, I felt like when I would prefer to go and train and do things like that and go to the gym, and then instead of going out with mates and doing things like that, I think I prefer. I've always just, I don't know, I've had that mindset of like, in the end, it's all gonna work out. Like, it's all gonna pay off.
Yeah. You're staying in your own lane. That's what I like, isn't it? Do you get what I'm saying? Because the generation this day is mad.
Unbelievable.
Mad.
Unreal.
What do you think about the generation, like, today? It's crazy, isn't it?
I think a lot of youngsters now are lost. I think they're lost. I think no one really has their own identity. I think they're so caught up in trying to be something they're not, they forget who they are. And I think that's a dangerous thing. But I don't think anything like that is pushed in schools. No, we had, for instance, when he was younger, he went to primary school. He had we go to Afro-Caribbean barbers. He had a pattern in his hair. Went to school. Oh, you can't have that in his hair. But then in the school, they tell you to be unique. They tell you to stand out. They tell you to be different. You express yourself with a pattern on your hair, and they don't want you in. Like,
hold on, I've got a story about that as well. Yeah. Okay. Quick one. So I went to a Catholic school in Hounslow. Yeah. Big up St. Mark's, but you done me dirty on the first day of year 6, you done me dirty. They sent me home, innit?
Yeah.
For having 0.5, because obviously, like, my dad just wants me to look clean.
Yeah,
do you know
fresh
what I'm
and
saying?
clean,
0.5. That's a bit too low, but they said, oh, you can't have so much of a long hair and short hair. Do you get what I'm saying? Or they'll just send you home.
Crazy, isn't it?
But that was mad, bro.
But then they tell you that they want you to be a unique person. They want you to be yourself.
Yeah.
They want you to be expressionate and creative. You do something like that, and then they put you back in a box. You think, well, that's not right, is it? Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think with the youth today is there's no. I think a lot of parents want to be friends, and this is the one thing I love about the boxing club is the box. I started boxing. Bloody, I'm 38 now. I started boxing when I was 10-year-old. I had a black coach. I had a white coach. We had Asian coach. We had this. You went to the boxing club. There was every religion you could think of. There was every colour of people you think of. Nobody cared. The only religion at the club was boxing. If you went in and you trained hard, you were welcomed. If you weren't trained hard, you was told, listen, come and pick yourself up. Let's do it. Do you know what I mean? It's been multicultural from the boxing's been multicultural from you can ever remember. Do you know what I mean? Everything like that. This is why I feel like some of these youngsters like his. When you're in the boxing club, they have a different mindset.
Yeah.
Like if you're 15, 16, 17, you're coming here telling your stupid stories about going out a weekend and robbing someone or this or that. The older lads in the club put them in line. They say, "What are you doing?" I mean, they're role models. Then they say, "What are you doing?" I mean, even our coaches. Half of the coaches in our club now box for us. I box for the club. So, for when I boxed for the club when I was younger, I then naturally progressed onto coaching. I didn't want to coach, in all fairness. I was sort of tricked into it. But then you go in, and especially in our club, and the demographic where we are, we're right in the middle of Norfolk, right in between all the council estates. Some of the kids don't have the money to pay to come and train, but we allow them in the gym. We've had our boxers that they've been stabbed. We've lost a couple of boxers that have passed away. You know, things like that. Young lads, you know, and you try to be there. Not that mums and ain't there. That you get kids that have got great mums and dads, and you just got people's mums and dads that are just struggling. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think none of them are horrible to be horrible. Do you know? They're just some struggle. Do you know? And but sometimes you're the constant there. You're there. You're there one that you're like. They'll come to the gym and you're there, but you're there 3 days a week, and they know you're there 3 days a week. You know what I mean? And but we have to be fair, we have a really good team. A really good team in our club. Do you know what I mean? Like we have our coaches like Darren, Jay, my brother Paul, Adam, Kaylee, the welfare officer that runs our club. She is unreal. She's extremely good at what she does, and without her running the club, we'd be knackered because none of us are sensible enough to run it. We're just coaches. We coach. Do you know what I mean? But for her being so good at what she does, it allows us to be good at what we do. Do you know what I mean? So she takes all the stress off us, and we crack on with that. Do you know what I mean? But going back to the thing, I just think there's not enough decent role models out there for people to follow. Do you know what I mean? Like they'd rather follow someone talking about absolute crap instead of looking at their nans and granddads that have been married for 60 years, still holding down the household, still in love. Worked 9 till 5.
That's the best. That's the best.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Because I think like certain boys and girls, if they come from a broken household, that's when shit gets
100%
big, innit? Like
100%. You know, it's easy to point fingers and things like that. Sometimes some things need to be said, and I think what we do as a community in that now is we try to water things down, try to sugarcoat things, try to be nicer about things. But sometimes you just have to say how it is. And the fact of the matter is, when you have a steady family, you have something there, and you have the support. And the thing is, it's having a support network.
Yeah.
If you have a good support network or something like that, like the lads I boxed with, I still speak to now. I mean, it's a different kind of friendship when you're in the ring punching each other's heads in for 4 rounds a night, and then you're getting out shaking hands going, oh, bloody hell, you hit me up the body then. Do you know, you need to take my rib out. Do you know what I mean? Then you go out on the weekend together. Do you know what I mean?
It's mad, isn't it?
It's a mad. Like, you go to one of your mates who plays football, you punch him in the head on the weekend, you don't want to be your mate anymore. Like,
it's mad.
Yeah, you have to be a bit of a nutter, I think, to be it. But it builds a different kind of bond and a different kind of friendship,
it's
man.
The brotherhood in the gym.
The brotherhood, 100%. Do you know what I mean?
For real. So, like, what is your routine like dieting and getting ready for a fight? Like, I was just talking about the runs and stuff.
A lot of the time, like, so I'm mainly boxing championships now, not on like home shows and things like that. So where on boxing championships you get that time before, so you know you've got just say 6 weeks, 7 weeks to get ready for the fight. So a lot of time you try and make weight like about week, 2 weeks before, so you can walk around it. And a lot of the time it's just you gotta eat what's there. Like what he says, he gives me breakfast, dinner, you eat that. That's it. You don't be eating anything else, picking that little thing.
Swear
you eat that.
Yeah.
It's done. Yeah.
The nutrition side of things now in boxing is just taking it to another level. Like it's just taking it. Like there used to be a saying says a good big man will always beat a good small man. Now some of these small men are just as just as strong as like you look at people like
Usyk,
like you look at Usyk now. Do you know what I mean? Like Tyson Fury, really Usyk shouldn't really get nowhere near him because he's just too long, and he's extremely good. But Usyk is just a supreme breed of boxer. Do you know what I mean?
People really like put him down though, saying like he's not this, he's not that. He's actually a really good fighter.
Yeah. These the differences with the places like Ukraine and Romania's and things like that, Kazakhstan stuff, they have nothing. They have nothing. This is their way out. They make it. They all make it. Do you know what I mean?
Like different kind of want to make.
It's a different kind. Like when you wake up in the morning, you wake up hungry. You're hungry. You wake up here and you can have a selection of breakfasts. You're not that hungry. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like his routine. The reason why we keep his routine as strict as we can. Now, I'm not saying he trains the hardest in the world, but he does train extremely hard. Yeah. He'd get up in the morning before college. He'd get up in the morning.
Before
college? Like sometimes
work,
you have to get up 6:30, 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Then he might do 800 meter runs, like sprints. So we have to sometimes you have to ride to the running track. So, or if you're lucky to have something around you, do you know what I mean? Lucky we got the hills, the Northolia Hills in Norfolk. So
that is a workout.
We measured 800 meters. So he will get up in the morning. He would do 800 meter sprints, and he has to keep that below a certain time. It ain't worth time and saying you have to beat that time and keep pushing to beat that time.
Because if you're putting all effort into it, you shouldn't be beating yourself because you should be so tired.
100%, So he'd do that, and then he'd do probably 5 rounds of shadow boxing, and then half an hour ab work. Do you know what I mean? So then he'll have to come home, get a shower, eat. Then he'd go on his bike, and from his bike he'll ride 5 miles to college. He specifically rides to college instead of getting a bus to college. Because he sits and thinks, well, if I'm riding to college, it's extra fitness.
Minimal gains.
So minimal gains, Then he'll ride to college. He would do his college. He'll come home. He'll eat. Then we're in the boxing club. We're in the boxing club from 7 till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Well,
then
6 actually. Yeah.
Well, 6. Yeah, he's 6 because he comes in. He trains with the juniors sometimes, and sometimes he helps out with the juniors, the little ones and stuff like that. Because it's like even at his age now. Do you know what I mean? What he does, some of the little ones look up to you, and then you've got to be the one that they can. You walk up and say, if he walks up to one of them on the bag, or one of our other boxers walks up to him on the bag, the older ones, and says to do something, the little ones feel important. Yeah. They think, look, he's a champion, and he's talking to me. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to do. You have to pass on your knowledge a little bit and be there. So, but then so he would train like that Monday to Friday. I mean, 5 days a week.
What do you eat though? What is like your go-to, like breakfast and dinner?
Breakfast a lot of the time. We make up like porridges, but we try and where you're a lot of time eating like the same things. You try and mix it up as much as you can. So we try and mix like fruit, nuts, but we try and mix in things like that. But there's types of like even like it comes down to like the things that you use inside of it. Like we use different types of milk, things like this. It tries to like change it up for yourself. Or even now, like recently I've been sponsored by like a CMOS company.
Come on. You know what? Talking about CMOS, I have a spoon every single morning. It makes me feel energized.
But he educates me on it. I don't know none of that stuff. When I was boxing, there was a thing called the caveman diet, and they call it, if it doesn't grow from the ground, swim in the sea, walk on the earth, or fly in the sky, don't eat it. I mean, like literally, it's a caveman diet. If you look at the foods, like what the diet he has now, I'd probably say, it's an 80-20 mix. You can't just have pure, healthy, good stuff continuously all the time, because you do crave stuff. You do, and when he's 17. If you go out and there's a pudding, you can't always say
it's hard for you, isn't it?
Do you know, like sometimes you have to have something, man, because you can't all the time.
As long as you're not
But-
struggling for weight, it's all right
Yeah.
here and there.
Yeah, if you're not killing yourself, you know. But the foods is like what we call is just a real foods diet. So it's your fruits, your vegetables, your meats. Do you know what I mean? Your chocolates, your this or that. Chocolate isn't necessarily crazily bad for you. Do you know what I mean? Like you have dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is quite good for you, but in moderation. So and that's what it is. A lot of these kids, they don't know how to moderate. You can't sit there eating crisps and chocolate 7 days a week and expect to lose a massive. It's like this. If you eat if you have one donut might be 400 calories.
Yeah.
But then you might get 8 carrots. Well, if you eat 8 carrots, you're not going to be hungry after 8 carrots. But in them 8 carrots, that's 400 calories, but you're much more fuller.
Yeah,
So it's about picking the correct things. And
Density.
I mean, the density of it. Yeah, like he's a volume eater, so you could look at something like you look at some of these things that we speak to a couple of nutritionists, and they'll say, oh, this and this is 2,000 calories. Then they'll have 8 plates full of food, and you think, how can you eat that and still lose weight? Because there's no way you're eating 8 plates of food in a day and losing weight, and you can eat 2 plates of food here and gain weight. But it's what you're picking. It's about picking the correct things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and sometimes it's not about eating what you want. It's about eating what you need. Do you know what I mean? You need, and that's where discipline once again comes in. You don't have to eat for taste. You have to eat for what that's going to do for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it does get boring sometimes. This is why I'm fat now. Do you know, I've retired, so yeah. Why have abs when you can have kebabs?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
come on.
Yeah.
Come on. But touching on the CMOS is really good for you, you know?
What they've said to me about it, and I've done a little bit of research last few days. The company's been really, really good to him. To be fair,
I'll give it CMOS Magic. They've done me really well. To be fair,
They've done him well, haven't they?
Yeah,
They've done you really well.
Yeah, because how much they've got, like over 80 things that are good for you.
I think it's 92 out of 102 minerals.
Yeah. That's everything.
And this is the problem. The problem with a lot of this is, like a lot of the athletes and a lot of people, when they talk about overtraining, you can overtrain. Obviously, there is a mark to it. Do you know what I mean? But 90% of people are under-recovered. They're not overtrained. They're under-recovered. Do you know what I mean? And then they haven't... You know, like, if you got a black jumper on there. Yeah. If you go out for a jog now and then you sit there and then the jumper it dries while you're wearing it, there'll be white patches over it. But that's your salt and your minerals. So when you're replacing it with just water, it's not enough.
You're replacing the water that you're losing, but you're not replacing the salts.
You're replacing the water, but you're not replacing the minerals. You're not replacing the salts. And that's what this CMOS and like Himalaya salts, like in the watery drinks, we tend to try and drink out of glass bottles because the plastic, all the crap
chemicals,
in it, chemicals. So you drink out of a glass bottle, you put like 2 pinches of Himalaya salt in about a litre, and then a spoonful of Manuka honey. You put that in, shake it up. That replaces all your minerals. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not, you don't have to just drink just water. Like
you can't even taste it.
Yeah, you can't even taste it that bad. But that's the little minimal gains. That's the tiny little things. You know what I mean?
You
You
notice
do
it differently. Like the amount of times you get cramp in a session, you start drinking that. You never. Like, I ain't had a cramp. Ages since I've started doing it. Just saying, like a year ago, I haven't had a cramp ever since.
Like, luckily we got a coach. Luckily we got a coach and a boxer. We got one of our boxers, Alex, and then our coach Jay Williams. Like they're very clued up on all this. Like we're actually very lucky. Do you know what I mean? To have like a really good squad and team of coaches and squad of boxers, because a lot of them are self-educated as well, and they will read into it and they will do a lot of research into it and stuff like that. Then they come in and they don't just
educate everyone.
I mean, this is how like with the boxing is different. They don't keep that to themselves.
Yeah.
They'll come in and they'll share the information. They will come in and they'll say like, oh, try this, try that, try that. Do you know what I mean? Like, because they understand the better, like,
everyone
else the better they become, the better they become.
Yeah,
like,
you are what you surround yourself with. If people become to that high level, then you get yourself to that high level.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, it's a bit crazy, man. But yeah, the CMOS.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man.
It's good. And they don't taste like nothing.
No.
It's just
we both tried it last night.
What flavour?
Cinnamon and date flavour.
Yeah. Have you got the jelly form?
Yeah, I got like that one. In the jar.
Yeah, it was all right, you know. Yeah. I'm a bit finger with things that I eat and stuff. I'm a bit like, I don't know, but I gave it yesterday. I smashed it back for, that's all right, you know, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, it's
and,
decent, man.
and you can mix it with everything. Like, they put in their drinks, they put it on their foods, like, you know, like
porridge,
yeah,
anything.
yeah, like so you have porridge instead of having jam or honey, you could stick that on
cook
it.
with it, like make it like a butter or something like that.
That's what we've been doing as well. We've been doing a lot of we were cooking with coconut oil.
Yeah,
so we changed it with like the rapeseed oil and the seed oils. Yeah. We've gone away from a lot of that. We've done a bit of research on it. We've gone away from that, and we're cooking like with coconut oils now. Like even brushing your teeth with it. Stuff like that. There's lots of benefits to these natural things, man. I think like we're so far gone in technology. Sometimes we just got to take a step back and think, well, it worked for them, so why it's got to work for us? Do you know what I mean?
Remedies are
massive,
best, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Massively,
like literally, and it just makes you just more healthier, more clean inside. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, natural.
Yeah, man. So another question, like, so who do you both of you look up to, like boxing wise, or do you don't? You just study on yourself.
In boxing, it depends because a lot of amateurs, like a lot of young boys, they'll look up to the pros. But when you're boxing in the pros, it's not the same as the amateurs. It's totally different style. But obviously, there's still things that you can try. But like pro wise, there's too many to name about people that I watch up to, like Canelo, Caleb Plant, people like that. Like now, boxers that I like to base my style off. But there's always the greats like back in the day. Tora Gatti, Mickey Ward, things like that. You got all the greats back in the day.
Yeah,
it's all different. It's all different times.
Yeah, that's decent stuff.
Yeah, no. Do you know what? One of my old boxing coach, Pat. That's what our club name's after, Patrick. We used to be called Norfolk Boxing Club originally. And we was Norfolk Boxing Club for 50 years, and God rest him, he got cancer a few years ago and he passed away. So before he passed away, we changed the name over to Patrick Wilson School of Boxing. So he knew he was still going to be on the scene.
Legacy, innit?
Yeah, like legacy stays on. And he was just such a genuine person. Do you know what I mean? So like we go to boxing shows and everybody would come up to him. Everybody. He called you like he'd pop around your house because we never had bloody own phones or mobiles, and he'd turn up and knock on the door and go, what are you doing, or what are you doing tonight? You go, oh, nothing. Oh, come on, we're going to go to a show. And he'd pay for you, and you'd walk in a show and he wouldn't have to pay for you. The other coach would go, no, go on, mate, go in. And he'd take your boxes in.
He's an icon, isn't it?
Yeah, and you go and watch the shows. And I just like, you'd be sitting, I remember he took me to a pro show once and there was all these geezers there and there was like a geezer with a big flat nose and a big meatheads, and they were walking up, and Pat was like a little skinny man, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they'd walk up to him and they'd be, hello, Pat, and they'd shake his hand, and you'd be sitting there thinking, looking at him going, wow, man, do you know what I mean? You'd feel like proper special, and then they'd say hello to you because they knew you were with Pat, and you'd be like, bloody hell, but he just had so much respect in the amateur boxing, and by boxers, like, he created Audley Harrison, who was Olympic gold medalist, Andy Till, who became a Lonsdale belt champion. I mean, I think he won a world title. I might be mistaken here, but he created numerous national champions. He just was in amateur boxing for like 60 years, about 50, 60 years, and just so people like him, I look as a coach now. I look up to him. I look up to people like that, and I think, bloody hell, man, like they set it for us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so somebody like that can't be replaced.
Yeah, and you can't replace them. Like the knowledge they've lost. As a coach now, like Brendan Ingle, I love how he worked. Like, God rest him, he's passed away as well. But like just the thought processes, they're thinking outside the box, trying to better. But boxing, I love Marvin Hagler, and just like Johnny Tapia, Gatti, they're just warriors. Do you know what I mean? And what I liked about them in that era is it didn't matter whether they won or lost, as long as you held yourself accountable and you'd done a good count of yourself. All of them champions all had losses on their records.
Now people are too scared.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you get people now. That's why, like, even like the Saudis now coming in, it's quite good because they're giving the boxers the money. They're saying to them, like, I will double what you're getting paid, but I want you to fight each other.
Yeah.
Because too many boxers, too much politics in boxing now. Even in amateur boxing, there's a lot of politics. Do you know what I mean? It is quite a clean, pure thing. I mean, you get good coaches, you get bad coaches. Yeah, but that's every walk of life and everything. But I'd like to think the majority of people are they have to be decent people because no amateur coach gets paid. It's all voluntary. I'm in that box club 20 hours a week. My brother is, all the other coaches is, like Jade, Adam, Darren, and they've all got full-time jobs, they've all got commitments, they've all got mortgages, they've all got families, they've all got kids, they've all got wives. Like Kaylee's got 3 kids. Do you know what I mean? She's a single mum, 3 kids on her own, and she is in that club religiously.
She comes in before everyone.
Like she's there before us and she's there after us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you get the purest form of people in amateur boxing, because then there's no financial gain for them.
They only
None.
want the best.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you have like any like youngers come in like, and you know like they need that push?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Some shock you though, you know, because some come in and you think, wow, they're talent, man. Like you can see it, and 9 times out of 10, they're the ones that go. And then you get other kids that come in, and we're guilty of it. We're guilty, you know, sometimes, because sometimes you're so busy and you've got so much stuff going. You've got championships to get ready for, home shows to get ready for, this, that. If a kid ain't putting the effort in, you think, well, I can't. Not you can't be bothered, but you think I haven't got the time. And then all of a sudden, you can't take your eye off them for 2 or 3 weeks or a month, and then boom. And you look and think, well, that's not the same kid. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but they proved us. Like, look at Alfie, for example, innit? Like Alfie, we had a little lad, Alfie. He's come in, like little chubby lad. In all fairness, I'm probably guilty of it. Going, bloody hell, man, we're wasting our time. And then all of a sudden, something just clicked with him.
Like
He lost 20 kilos.
Swear down.
He's doing his like. He's the first one on the runs. On we got a WhatsApp group, a running group. The first one on it, boom, 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 boom. And you think,
Get ready for his first fight.
every day, you haven't got to say to him, make sure you do your runs, mate. You just think 5:30, 6 o'clock, a run's going to come through. Do you know what I mean? And then you got other lads that are super duper talented. That's the sad thing. The sad thing is watching talent go through the door. Then and you think
tell us
like
more about that.
Yeah, you think like, oh man, like they could, not that they could achieve everything like be a world champion, because not every boxer is going to be a world champion or a national champion or something like that. But you know they got all that pent up energy and all that, and what are they going to go and do with it now? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like who becomes when your dad's not home? Who becomes your dad? The estate. Do you know what I mean?
True.
And we're born and bred council estates. Like I was born and bred golf links in Southall. I lived there 37 years.
Yeah,
Do you know
golf
what I mean?
links is.
Golf links, do you know what I mean? And when I was growing up, golf links was a lot rougher than what it was now. Golf links was a rough estate growing up.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you had
for
other
real.
estates that were quite rough. And you'd have a lot, the Windmill, the Green Man estate, but everyone kind of half got on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, everyone had some differences and but everyone kind of got on. Now we have kids in our estate that from the boxing club, our estate, that the estate next to it, they won't come near. They won't come near us because they got to go through this road to be able to get to our estate. It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely ridiculous.
It's mad.
But in our club, we try not. Luckily, we haven't had no problems like that. Do you know what I mean? Luckily, we haven't. But there are other clubs that do have a lot of problems because of that. Do you know what I mean? But there's only so much you can do. Do you know what I mean?
Do you have like a number one rule that you say in each session to everybody? Because I know, like, when they do karate, they say, like, in other words, like, only use it when you need to use it.
100%.
Do you get me?
Yeah. Like, the one thing we live by is fitness wins fights. So you could have a super duper talent, but it's not fit. And you can have a kid that ain't the best, but he gets through the first round and his fitness pulls through. But in our club, really, what a lot of us will be saying is like only you can do this. I can sit there and I like maybe 5-6 years ago, 8 years ago when I'd done all my coaching courses. If you would have asked us then, I would have said, it's about unity and about family and about this and about that. And it is all like that. There is a lot, because sometimes you, as I said before, you are them. I don't want to say dads because they have dads, but you are their constant. They'll come in, they will ask you things, they will say things. Like my brother, huh?
Like a father figure.
Like a father figure, or like an uncle, or just a friend. You know what I mean? And you have to say to these kids, like, in the end, really, what you are is an advisor. And I say to him, I wouldn't do that. God rest, we had a young lad, Isa, a young Pakistani lad, lovely lad, like really good lad, typical just teenage kid who was into bloody mischief and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you talk to him, and then you'd never get. We half not gave up on him, but we half kind of went, bloody hell, man. But like Kaylee, the one that runs, like, she won't give up on no one. like anybody. She's like, nope. And she was on his case. And then one day I was outside my house and he rode past in a little moped and he pulled over. And he's like, oh, coach, this, and we were speaking because he hadn't been in the club for a couple of months. You know what I mean? Even when he got stabbed. And even after he got stabbed, Kaylee would drive to his house and say, well, you're not coming training. Like, you got stabbed in your leg. Yes. Nothing wrong with your arms. Yeah. And she'd get him in and she'd...
his leg on the chair. Hitting the bag.
Sitting on a chair, punching the bag. I mean, so like she's relentless on it, yeah? That's people you need.
But doesn't that scare you though, like all this stabbing and stuff like that?
Yeah. The thing is, there's always that worry that it's going to be there, innit? But with me, I don't really like sit there going out shouting about and sitting there going off, like making myself, like putting myself in them situations. A lot of the time, if I'm out, I'm running or something, or if I'm out, I'm training, or if I'm not training, I'm chilling inside or resting or something. Because a lot of the time, where you're training so regularly, you ain't got that time to always be going out, sitting there, like putting yourself in them situations.
And this the problem with it is there is a lot of problem with this knife crime stuff. But I tried to explain to people before, like my thought process on this is, it doesn't cost you a penny to lay down and create a child, but it costs you £10,000 to bury one. Yeah. Who's earning out of that? So why do they want to stop this? Like they can't. A kid gets chased through a council estate full of cameras, runs through a town centre full of cameras, runs into a car park full of cameras, and nothing sees anything. But I drive 3 inches into a bus lane and I get a ticket. Do you know what I mean? And so you have to ask yourself, why is this? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It is a big, and it is things we like me and his mum. We kind of worry about, because the thing is, as a boxer, like we kind of, when you come back to what we say, some of the boxers, some of the things we say to the boxers is like this. I say, me and my brother and Kaylee, all the coaches really say it. We all say, one day boxing will save your life. So whether it saves your life in the sense of you do really well out of it, and you become a multi-millionaire and you become a world champion and you can get yourself away, or you, out of it, you become a personal trainer because you know about fitness, you learn like that, or worse comes to worse, you're walking down the road and 10 lads approach you and you can punch one straight in the chin and create an opening for you to run. 99% of people are not going to be as fit as you as a boxer. So if you run, after 80 metres, they're stopping. You can run 5K in 20 minutes. They're not catching you. Do you know what I mean? So whether it saves your life physically or mentally or financially, it will save your life. And that's not just boxing. That's all sports. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's all sports. We got on our boxing, on the side of our boxing clubs, you've got Larkspur Football Club. Yeah. And they have probably 100 kids a week in and out of that place. Do you know what I mean? And like, you think 100 kids a week off a couple of council estates that are local, that's not doing bad. That's 100 kids that ain't roaming the street, ain't this, ain't that. And we've seen it. We've had a few boxers leave us, and then you're riding down the road when he's jogging, and it happens quite often. You know, he's jogging down the road. Sometimes we change his runs up. Sometimes we run in the morning. Sometimes we run 6 in the morning. Sometimes you run 10 in the evening, or 7 in the evening. And sometimes you'll be on the runs, and you'll see kids that were in the gym a year ago that were talented, and then you see them now sitting, vaping, smoking, sitting on a bench with 15 idiots. And you sit and think, and he's jogging, running past them, and you think, what are you doing with yourself? What are you doing?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? And it's scary. Do you know what I mean? Because the problem is, it's like I say to him, yeah, out and about in these estates, it's not whether you're looking for something. If you are there long enough, it will find you. There's a saying, an old saying that says, if you sit in a barber's, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. It's a true saying. Sooner or later, you're going to get a barber who's going to sit and go, bloody hell, my your hair's too long, let me give that a trim. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're sitting in them parks and you're surrounding yourself with who you're surrounding yourself with, you're going to get yourself in this situation. Do you know what I mean? Like whether you want it or not. Do you know what I mean?
And sometimes life's only fun for so long, isn't it? Like, how fun can it be sitting on the bench all day? Like, it's only fun for a few weeks. Well, it's different to usually you're in the gym, then you're going out, it's only fun for so long. After a while, it gets boring, but then by the time you come back, it's too late. You take a year out, you can't catch up. Boys that you were beating are now that year ahead of you. Take that time out.
So what's flipping it now. So what's your preparation like for a fight? Like as soon as you walk out, but what do you do before that? Do you like prepare? Like do you say a prayer or what?
A lot of the time, like it's always a lot of time it's me and him warming up in the back room, or we have other coaches that warm up. But like just say like we're at championships and we're away and there's only a couple of us there. Like we try and find somewhere like usually like quiet. So we just all sit there like before a couple hours before the fight. You're just having a laugh and that you take your mind off of things because you sit there worrying. It drains your energy.
Yeah,
like in fights, the amount of you're mentally thinking of it. You end up going into the fight and by the end of the third round, your body, you're tired even no matter how much you train. Mentally, you're draining yourself. So before we try and just take the mind off of it, try and think of other things like have a laugh, watch videos, have a laugh together, take the piss, and then when we start warming up, a lot of time. Me and him do where amateur boxing, obviously it's fast. We do explosive pads, like get yourself like in short bursts, like 20 seconds on, couple seconds off, then go again. And we try to get your body up to that standard. Like here a lot of time as well, you got to get your reactions ready. So he'll put on the pads and throw shots at me, get me moving, like get yourself ready to get a punch thrown at you. But before we go out, about a fight and a half before, when the fight before that's about halfway, sit down, get ready, hands between your legs, put something over my head, and I just sit there and I just block everything out, try and think why I'm doing it, like get myself why I've put myself here, and I think of like. There's a lot of time, like even when I've spoken with people about like mental prep, like you got to think of the process, not the prize. Like you think when you're sitting there in the change room, all you think, I got to win. All you've got is that feeling, or you say, oh, I can't lose. You got that thinking, that thought of losing in your head.
Yeah.
Like you need to sit there and think, in the fight, I need to do this to get me to that win. Like I sit there and you think, also other reasons like why am I training this hard? Why am I fighting? Like what's my reason to put my effort in?
Yeah, for real, it makes sense, man. It makes sense.
The last 3 fights we've done, we've been reading into manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's sitting there thinking, saying just going over something in your head. Do you know what I mean? Like the one thing, I have trained, I have done this, and this is what we say to him, and we say to a few,
with no doubts.
like we say to him, and we say to the kids in the boxing club, if you miss a run or you don't put your effort in the gym, in the last round when you're tired and the other boy's tired and the other boy gets up and he's bouncing on his toes and he's looking at you and he looks in your eyes, he knows you've skipped it. You can't lie. He can't like he knows you've skipped your, or you can look at him and you think, and you're so last round, you're there, you're bouncing, you're looking at him, looking in his eyes, and you think, I know you've skipped your run. I know you've skipped your run. I haven't. So like it's the manifesting like but you have to put yourself in them uncomfortable situations. It's like you know, like saying, oh, like, I'm sitting here, like, I'm going to win the lottery today.
Yeah.
Well, I could put a ticket on. It doesn't mean I'm going to win the lottery. But if I got up to my fault, right, I've got to go and do my run. I've done my run. I've eaten properly. I didn't have that chocolate bar that was in the fridge. I managed to keep myself away from that. I then went and done my ab routine. I then went to the gym and I got beat up for 3 rounds and it's not always, when you're sparring, you're not always winning the spars. You know, sometimes you like with him, some of the lads he goes and spars in some a pro gym every now and then. Do you know what I mean? Like Evolve Boxing Club, Andy Gill, another good coach. Do you know what I mean? He's got a few good lads there. Do you know what I mean? Like Lewis Frimpon, Yassi Boy. Do you know what I mean? Like they're going for British titles now. Do you know what I mean? They're good. So he'll go and spar with them, and he doesn't get his own way. So like
that's the way you want to be.
Yeah, he is. He is the underdog in there. He is the one that, like, you go to some of the pro gyms like he spars. He went to spar a couple of kids. I won't say no names because you know both of them. And do you know what I mean? One got the better of the other one the other week. Do you know what I mean? But doesn't mean he's a better boxer because he got the better of him. Do you know what I mean? It's just on that day he was the better on that day, and then but if he boxed him again, don't necessarily mean he's going to beat him every time. Or he might box a kid and beat a kid, but the kid he just beat 2 weeks ago beat the boy he's now fighting next. But just because he's beat the boy, it doesn't mean you're going to beat the boy.
Yeah.
Because it's a different style.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you have to prepare yourself for everything. So as I go back, so when you're standing that corner now and you haven't missed a run, you have dieted properly, you have had the right nutrition, you have done the correct thing, you can stand there with full confidence thinking, I know I'm prepared. And then stand there looking. And you will see little breaks in their armour. And you'll think, yeah, I got you now. Do you know what I mean?
For real.
Like things like that.
No self-doubt.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of time in the end, like, you don't want to sit there. Like, even just say you're losing, but you still got in your head that I've left no stone unturned. There's nothing more that I could have done. So if this boy's beating me, then it must be his best day because I'm sitting there, I've put my effort in, I can't sit there. The worst thing is sitting there, getting to the end of a fight, and if you lose, sitting there thinking, there's more that I could have done. If I had 10% more, I could have beat that boy. If you've sat there and you put all your effort in, even if you lose that fight, you go, yeah, but I trained right for it. Like, there's nothing more that I could have done.
Yeah, fact.
There's nothing that there's no more I could have done.
And losing in amateur boxing is okay.
Happens all the
Do you know
time.
what I mean? It happens all the time. Like, there's fights that he's had where we could make arguments and say he won them. I mean, like he definitely won them.
Have you had like actual disputes, like, and it actually flipped around?
You can in amateur boxing after you have 15 to 20 minutes after the fight to speak to the supervisor. The problem with amateur boxing is it's going to sound a bit, and this is no disrespect to amateur boxing. You kind of just take it on the chin because you don't want to be known as a pain in the bum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every time they, like if one of his boys lose, bloody hell, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's always got a problem. Do you know what I mean? Then you get known for, oh, don't have him on a bloody show, or he's going to cause a.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes you think, nah, man, like he's won, or not just him. Like we had a young lad in our gym. He had 8 fights, won 1, lost 7. But out of them 7, 2 you could probably argue he lost. 4 or 5, you go, how did you lose that? But it happens in amateur boxing all the time. Do you know what I mean? And it's not like there's a young lad now boxes for England. Yeah, a young lad from Purge Boxing Club. I forget his name. A youth. They just went over to Bosnia and boxed in the European Championships. Now this lad for 3, I forget his name. Otherwise I'll give him a little shout out to him. But I forgot. But he's a cracking little lad. He absolutely hammered this kid, a young Russian kid, from pillar to post. There's no, he never lost a second of the fight. He lost. And you think,
that's mad.
And that was 2 or 3. And so even at that level, do you know what I mean? Sometimes on the home shows you kind of half expect it, but there ain't a lot of cheating going on. It's just, you've got to try and please 5 strangers, like 5 judges on the ring. You've got to try and please 5 people. But then 5 people might like a different type of boxing. Even though the criteria should be this, this, and this, it's hard to keep that. Do you know what I mean? But there's no cussing amateur boxing. Like you have to give your hat up to them. Like even the supervisors, the refs, the judges, they're all voluntary as well. So none of them get paid. So when people say, "Oh, you're working for," they're not working for the club. They do it for free.
For the love, innit?
They do it for the love. Do you know what I mean? And no, I don't think anyone intentionally goes out to rob your kids. Do you know what I mean? But that's what we say to the kids now. Don't worry about winning and losing. Worry about going in there. Worry about your performance. Do the best you can be. Sometimes you're going to win fights you've lost, and sometimes you're going to lose fights you've won. It's part of life. You've got to take it on the chin. You've got to grow from it, and you've got to literally grow from it and move on with it. You can't sit dwelling on, oh God, so what? Same as we say to these kids, oh, I've lost this. Okay, but you might lose that fight on a home show. 3 weeks later, you might be in the national championships. You've just become a national champion now. Now you're number 1 in England in that championship. Do you think these people are going to go, yeah, but he lost to Barry 3 weeks ago in that show? Who cares? Who cares I lost to Barry? I've just beat this kid now. I'm now a national champion.
Yeah.
So like every time he's lost, he's then come back and won bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes I think with the winning and losing and stuff like that as well, I think it's not about winning and losing. I think if you're a young kid and you've come in the gym and you kind of look in people's eyes because you've got no confidence, and then a year down the line, you're just sparring, you're not even competing. You've won. You've won. Do you know what I mean? Like that's it. Like you get kids, you think, oh my God, never. But then they're having a skills match or they're having a boxing match, and you think you've won. It don't matter about winning or losing. You've already won. Do you know what I mean?
For real.
So,
Yeah, man. Tell me about, like, I see on Instagram you've been drippy on the boxing gear as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Drippy.
mate. He loves it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, it's just really like sick fabric.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell us about that as well.
I got a good friend who works in BoxFit, Andre. He always sorts me out. That's my go-to.
Shout out BoxFit. They
Yeah,
always
shout
help
out
us out.
Come on.
Yeah, he always sorts me out. But yeah, I always want to look good in there. Make sure like I'm never one of them ones all flashy, big, massive stuff. But I like looking subtle. I like looking clean, making sure like I come in, I'm looking class. Like but I got a new kit on the way. Got all white and navy blue one.
Yeah.
Got one coming. Got all my sponsors down the back. Got on back of my legs. They're gonna be able to show who supports me in it.
Yeah.
And Boxing Boutique, another little brand up and coming. Customizes all your boxing t-shirts and stuff like that. They haven't got into like the shorts and stuff like that yet, but they will do. But all your training stuff, like your bags, your bottles, your t-shirts, your tracksuits, your hats, like
all these tracksuits.
Yeah, all these like really, really good. Like, if these just jumping now, I mean,
that's clean. That's clean.
So yeah, they do really well. Once again, though, we're quite blessed and we're quite lucky to have the people we've got around us again.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really good. Same as like the Boxing Boutique. They help quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? BoxFit helps quite a lot. Like, they are good, genuine people as well. Do you know what I mean? There is a lot of genuine people in the boxing world. I will say there's a lot of non-genuine. There's a lot, yeah.
That's the thing. When you find them, there is good people there.
They're little gems, man. They're good people. Do you know what I mean? So, and I like it because they're not always after the big ones. You help the little ones.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can help the little ones as well, man. It's not all about getting your name on Anthony Joshua's bloody shorts. Do you know what I mean?
You've got to build that loyalty from the bottom.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, he loves a kit, man. But you know, it's good though. Do you know, because it feeds into the confidence. You as you're getting prepared, like as you were saying earlier, like what do you do before the fight?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I try to say to these, and I try to say to the kids, when you put your boxing sock on, you should get more confident. You put the other sock on, you get more confident. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you get. Sorry about that, mate. Yeah, you get that, like it gets more confident. Like your boots you put on, you get more confident. You put your shorts on, it's like you're putting your armour on. You're proud of it. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got your name, you've got your family name, you've got your club name, you've got your sponsors, or like it's something to be proud of. You know what I mean? You get and you're proud of it, and you think, yeah, I've earned this, I've done this. Do you know what I mean? And then even down to the thing of like, if you're boxing and a little lad or a little girl, they might see it and you, oh, I love your shorts, and then and then you're having a chat with him. You've got another fan now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it all ties in together. Do you know what I mean? It all ties in together.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes you feel good. Do it.
Yeah,
makes you feel good. Do it. You know what I mean?
The kicks have to match as well, isn't it?
Oh. Yeah. I got a new pair recently. Got my white and gold Night Tawas. They're ready to go with all my kits, and that's the thing. A lot of the time, you got to make sure everything. Like I always make sure everything head to toe has got to match. It goes.
So is Nike your go-to?
Yeah, with boots a lot of time Nike's my go-to. Yeah, boots is always like the thing is the boots. I feel like they last good as well. Nike always last good, to be fair. Like they've not done me no wrong, but they last me ages. But they're worth the money, to be fair. They can be expensive, but they're worth the money. Yeah. For real.
Yeah, man. You two educated me. Do you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it.
No worries, man.
I'm saying? I do appreciate it. Thank you for coming down.
No, thanks for having us.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One more last thing. What's the quote of the day? It could be anything. Both of you can.
He has a little quote that he lives by.
Don't do it for anybody else. Do it for yourself.
Come on.
Yeah.
There's two things I try to live my life by. I try to be morally right all the time. Whether I'm right or wrong, I try to be morally right. There's two sayings I heard when I was younger, and I live by them. And he says, "I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war."
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean? And you could take that in every aspect of life, not just going to war and or fighting. Do you know what I mean? It's being prepared for an opportunity, even if it's not there. Do you know what I mean? Like because if
Of course.
the amount of people that ain't, I'd rather be prepared for an opportunity that never happens instead of an opportunity happening and not being prepared for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I think we got to go back to them kind of thinking. And I always used to get told when I was younger, choices and consequences. For every choice, there's a consequence, and every consequence, there was a choice. You're 5 seconds away from making a massive mistake, or you're 5 seconds away from doing something great. Yeah, and I think that's what you have to do. And I think a lot of these young kids now, they just got to think to themselves, if everyone else is doing that, let them do that. You should be too busy focusing on doing you.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Look at you. Look at yourself. You're a prime example. Doing this.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
bro,
what a great thing you're doing.
I had to work for this.
100%. And that's what people don't see. People don't see the hard work behind doors, backstage, when the lights ain't on you. Do you know what I mean?
Like we said earlier, people don't see the process.
People don't see the process, see the prize. And what you've done by giving people like us and other people that have been an opportunity to come and talk and spread something, what an amazing thing for you to do.
Spreading
full respect to you. Yeah, 100%.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? That's the main
100%.
thing why I started this as well.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I've been watching YouTube for years.
Yeah.
And the number one thing that I didn't see them do is like give people chances.
Straight up.
They're just up there on
100%.
asses, isn't it? Do you know what I'm
100%.
saying?
But it's funny because all them people got a chance. Do you know what I mean? So what you're doing, as I said before, what you're doing now by people like us, and we've seen your podcast where you got Kiani Camp, a young Pakistani
Oh,
boxer.
yeah, he's my guy.
We don't know them
yeah.
massive. I know his brother and the young lady that works there. And once again, they're great people, man. They're great people. Do you know what I mean? He's a really good little fighter, to be fair. I think he'd do really well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a really good little fighter. But once again, do you know what I mean? But without people like you, who's showing him?
Exactly.
Who's showing these people? Do you know what I mean?
Those are late nights, man.
Yeah.
Late nights.
Do you know what I mean?
I swear to God.
And it will all pay off. Late nights, early mornings.
Trust me.
Yeah. It will all pay
But
off.
yeah, again, thank you guys.
No worries. I appreciate you having us.
Do you get me? People, this is Dre. This is Wtp Podcast. We are over and out. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. And we're out.